So if we can lead a life like that, knowing that ultimately everything will become like Angorvat, banyan trees will grow through the stones, nothing will remain with us, then the mind becomes quiet. It knows that what will happen finally, nothing will happen. And if we are in control of our anger, realizing that anger does no good to anybody, including myself, maximum harm it does to me, not to others. No? What did Basavanna say in the Vachanas? When you get angry, it's a fire in your own house. Your house is burning. What does it happen to somebody else? Nothing. So when then the mind becomes quiet and crystal clear, in that clarity, only the witness remains. And it is suddenly discovered, now this can't be logically explained, that the witness is no different from the object. There is no object, there is only witnesses around. There are no objects. There is only one thing. You may call it subject or you may call it object. Actually, you can't even call it subject because there is no object. Subject comes only when there is an object, right? That state is called the real. Therefore, the statement is Asathoma Sathgamaya. May I move from the unreal to the real. That's the meaning. It has nothing to do with where you live or what you do or how you... It is an inner thing. Of course, you have to simplify your life so that you don't get unnecessarily distracted. That's all. And simplify means different things to different people. Anything that catches you and makes you a slave of habit is to be discarded. That's all, to put in a nutshell. And if in the final reckoning of total freedom of mind and quietness, even if your guru becomes a distraction, throw it off. The Zen master, the great Zen master said, if you meet Buddha in the field, kill him. Not showing disrespect to the Buddha. What he meant was that it is that Buddha that prevents you, the image of Buddha that is preventing you from nirvana. You know, a spiritual teacher is not there to increase his flock, or to increase the number of... the world judges like that. Oh, he has so many disciples. That is not a spiritual teacher's job is not to build number of disciples. It is not even his job to make a disciple, first of all. You know about the great Tirthankara called Mahavir. Mahavira was the last Tirthankara of the Buddhists. I think they expect one more somewhere. And spirits are talking. They're saying these fellows are conspiring to finish us off. We go towards the truth, we'll all be killed and things. Anyway, so Mahavira had a very close disciple who everybody thought will become the next Tirthankara. I'm not Tirthankara, you can't become, but the next. His name was Gautama. So, many of the close people who were with Mahavira, they all attained nirvana. I think the Jain terminology also call it nirvana. They all attain nirvana. Nirvana is what? Nirvana is the burning away or the blowing away of all negative thoughts of the mind. It's not nothing. People think nirvana means nothing, everything is blown off. No, it means all the harmful thoughts, hatred, anger, jealousy, this is all cleared, completely cleared. The mind becomes, it's so light if that happens. We carry so many burdens. Throw them all out. Then the mind becomes pure, and then it sees that all this is temporary and there is only one reality. So, many people attain nirvana. Not many, some who were who were disciples of Mahavir. Gautama was the closest, but he could not get nirvana. He got nirvana after Mahavira passed away. Why? Because his attachment to Mahavir stood in the way. So, even if your teacher becomes more important than the path or the teaching, you are free to discard and walk forward. Nothing will happen, I am telling you. No danger will happen. People are afraid. Oh, if I leave him, he may curse. Then what will happen? Nothing. No. A teacher worth his salt cannot curse first. Not possible. Curse for what? This famous thing is there, no? Guru Droha. What Droha? From where? A teacher, if he is a spiritual teacher, he should have reached a stature where he cannot curse anybody. He is not Durvasa. But you are free. So, that is the meaning of Asathoma Sathgamaya. Now, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. It means the same thing, but in a slightly different way. You know, the ancient rishis, when they took up a subject, they went into it so deeply that they looked at it from all angles. Some angles which when we read only this is a new angle. It means, even though we think we are sitting in light, we are sitting in darkness because we don't know who we are, or we don't know what is our true essence. We don't know that we are the witness. So, lead me from that, the darkness of ignorance, into the light of understanding. That is the meaning. You know, when you dream in the night, it's all dark, there is no light there. But when you dream, do you dream in darkness or in light? There is an internal light, which is also why dreams are called Tejasa, that which is lit by itself. So in darkness there is light, in light there is darkness. So which is the reality? The Gita says, yogi is one for whom the day for a normal person is night for him, and night for a normal person is day for him. There are only three kinds of people who stay awake at night, according to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. One is the bhogi, who wants to enjoy. He stays awake whole night. Example, New Year's Eve in Bangalore. So the bhogi stays awake. Then guy who has so much pain that he can't sleep, the rogi, he also stays awake. Then the yogi, because for him what is dark, night is day. He is enjoying himself. He is also a bhogi in a way, but of a different kind. He drinks also, he is also a drunk, but of a different material. That's why I told you I'm going to have it. She got shocked. After lunch I saw her, I said, okay, now I'll have a drink and go to sleep. You, she said. So, Why are we talking? Oh, New Year's Eve. Okay. So, bhogi, correct. So the yogi is also a bhogi, but his bhoga is different from the normal bhoga of a rogi. Many years ago, once Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was going in a car. I mean, those days, that horse cart, in a buggy. So on the streets of Calcutta, he suddenly looked out of the window and saw one fellow completely drunk, totally drunk, tottering like this and going on the footpath. Hey, stop. So they stopped. We got out, ran outside and hugged this fellow and said, hey, we are brothers. That fellow got quite worried. He said, we are brothers. You are drunk and I am also drunk. So he thought, what is happening to him? He said, I am drinking something, you are drinking. We are both drunk. Then with great difficulty they managed to pull him inside and take him. Great difficulty. So please don't think that we should totter on the road, then Ramakrishna will come and hug us. This is only a story. Some people, whenever you say something, you have to be careful because it can be interpreted in different ways. So, this is like when we went for the walk of hope, somebody said, let's ask Johnny Walker to help because their symbol is a man walking and it says, keep walking. So anyway, so with great difficulty they brought him inside and but that is not the end of the story. The end of the story is, many years later the Belur Math was made by Swami Vivekananda, who went and almost broke his sound box in England and the United States and got some money from there. Nobody in Calcutta was ready to give him anything, I'm sorry to say. He brought money from outside in dollars and built up Belur Math. After building up Belur Math, one day he was meditating inside. So he came out and then he saw a very tall Jatadhari. You know Jatadhari? A yogi with a jata, wearing a white cloth, standing there and looking at him. As soon as he saw him, because Swami Vivekananda was a sannyasin wearing saffron, so he said, Pranam. And then he said, inside the shrine, now if you go to Belur Math, you will see an image of Sri Ramakrishna sitting there. Before that, there was only an old photograph. The image had not yet come. Old photograph which was carried by his close disciple Ramakrishna Ananda and worshipped and kept. So this man met Swamiji. He said, are you from here? He said, yes, I am from here. He didn't say I made it. Okay? Remember, he didn't say I am Swami Vivekananda, I am the one. Are you from here? He said, I am from here. Then he said, can I hug that photograph there, inside the shrine? Swamiji said, not possible. We don't allow anybody to go inside the shrine and hug the photograph. This is not possible. Okay, he said, that's all right. I want to tell you something. This must have happened before your time. In the sense that you may not even know that it happened. One day, I was a complete alcoholic. So one day, I went into a bar and got completely drunk. And I walked out on the footpaths of Esplanade in Calcutta. Suddenly a horse buggy stopped and one man came out. I don't know who he is. He just came out. He had a shining face and he was tottering like me. He couldn't walk. His eyes were red. And he came and hugged me and said, hey, we are brothers. "You're a drunk, I am a drunk." This is what he told me. And then with great difficulty they pulled him away and took him away. So Swamiji said, "Then what happened?" He said, "Then what happened? I went home. Early morning usually I used to get drunk, I used to become sober. Morning I woke up, I was still drunk. Then I became a complete drunk, I didn't need any liquor. Every time I was drunk and it was so ecstatic. I stopped the bottle and became the spirit." This is exactly what he said. That is who I am. So you don't know. So then I heard that he passed away. Then somebody told me they have built a temple and that they have put his picture. So I just wanted to hug the picture. What do you think? Swamiji said, "You are welcome to go inside and hug the picture." So he went and hugged the picture. Then he came out and he told Swamiji, "Can I prostrate?" No, Swamiji asked him, "Can I prostrate before you? Can I do pranams?" He said, "No. You are wearing a saffron robe. You are a sannyasin. Look, I am still wearing white. You cannot prostrate before me." Then he turned round and went. Halfway near the staircase, he turned round and told Swamiji, "Don't follow me, I can't be caught," and went away. So this is an example of somebody who found the witness. And touched the inner core and got drunk in ecstasy. It is this that we seek outside. This is this ecstasy that we look for outside, and our whole life we are wandering around trying to find Madikeri. It's all part of that. It is this ecstasy that we seek. This is what we seek in, like Yajnavalkya told his wife Maitri, when you love the son or the daughter, when you love your husband or your wife, when you love your wealth and your house, when you love the way people praise you and so on, it is not that which you actually love, but your inner self that you love. It's seeking this that we think, I love that, I love this. Actually it is inside. That's what we love. So that is the meaning of Asathoma Sathgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. It is if it's strictly translated, it means lead me from death to immortality. Amrita, Amritam Gamaya. Amrita is not what is prepared in the temple with honey and that we can get morning also somebody. But Amrita means Amrita, no death, deathless state. To realize that this body may die, the mind may die, but there is something in me which is deathless, Amrita. That is Amrita. So take me from death to immortality. And this is what poor Nachiketa went looking for and found. You know the story of Nachiketas, no? I think most people in India know. How many don't know Nachiketas? I'm sure everybody knows Nachiketas. No? Okay. Alek Niranjan, what the hell? Anyway, I thought he was looking for Nachiketas. So, Nachiketas was a young son of a great rishi. The great Rishi was conducting a yajna. Yajna means sacrifice, yajna. It is said that it is Brihaspati's yajna that created the world. Everything requires a sacrifice to create. You can't create anything without investing something, some sacrifice. There's no easy way out. So anyway, the Rishi conducted an yajna, and after the yajna is over, you have to give gifts to, which is also part of the sacrifice actually. When you gift, it is a sacrifice. You are giving something away to the people who came to conduct the yajna. So this little boy was standing and watching. His father was giving away to the priests who had come for the yajna old cows which had no milk, lame cows which could just hobble, blind cows, and such useless things he was giving away as gifts to the priests. Suddenly occurred to the young fellow, Nachiketa, what is my father doing? This is supposed to be a yajna, and he is giving away things which are useless to him. He should actually give something that is most valued for himself as a sacrifice. What is the use of giving useless things? So he asked him, I am the dearest to you, only son. I am your dearest son. You are conducting a yajna. Who will you give me to? Yes. The Upanishad says Shraddha entered into him. Inspiration entered him. And he asked, whom will you give me to? I am your nearest and dearest. Then it's a sacrifice. It's a yajna. Who will you give me? And the Upanishad says that the father, the Rishi in anger said, I will give you to death. But I don't believe it. I think he was also a great Rishi. He was sending him to death to learn what death was. Let us put it that way. So what happens? Young Nachiketa suddenly appears in Yamaloka because he is dead. Now Yama is not aware of all this happening here. He is gone to get some other souls somewhere. So poor Nachiketa has to go and wait in Yama's consulting room for 3 days. Because Yama has gone to get some other souls. 3 days he waits patiently. And after 3 days, Yama comes back. Oh, he says, there is a young brahmachari with a shining face waiting in my office for 3 days. I have not looked after his comfort. I have not given him water to drink. Yama saying this. We won't even bother this fellow. 3. I haven't given him water to drink, or anyway, he doesn't belong to any political party. Who cares? No water, no food, nothing. He feels very remorseful and says, for all this 3 days of the mistakes that I have committed, Yama, to the little boy, Nachiketa, please ask me for 3 boons and I shall grant them. So Nachiketa says, first boon, when I go back, may my father, without being angry, recognize me and accept me. Which means, once he has crossed over the barrier of death, people change. When he goes back, his father may not even recognize who is this resplendent person who has come. And may he forgive me and not be angry with me. He is not angry with his father for sending him to death. He is saying, may he not be angry with me. May he accept me back. First boon is over. Second boon, they say there is a yajna by performing which one goes to heaven, to the higher realms. Can you teach me that? Says, okay, I'll teach you that. Not only that, that yajna shall from henceforth be called the Nachiketa yajna. It is named as the Nachiketa yajna. It's about lighting the fire of sacrifice in the Manipura chakra. The fire that is the desire for immortality. The fire that burns off all dross. He says, I laid that for you. And it shall from henceforth be named the Nachiketas yajna. 2 boons are over. Third boon. Some say after death there is nothing. When was the Upanishad written? 2000 years ago. So when people say that now it's nothing new, some people say it's all nonsense. There's nothing left. It was said already 2000 years ago. Some say after death nothing remains. Some say something remains. That's not the question. My problem is, can you teach me something by which I can transcend death? That death will never touch me. Is there some knowledge which can take me beyond death? Where death becomes useless. It can't do anything to me. That I become mrityorma amritam gamaya. Can you take me from mortality to immortality? Is there anything? Yama says, look, my dear young man, don't ask me this question. Tell me what you want apart from this question. You want kingdom? How many kingdoms you want? 3 worlds? Do you want angels in attendance on you? Do you want music parties and dance girls performing before you? Do you want a whole band with you? Do you want houses in all the 3 realms? Do you want thousands of wives with whom you can live? I'll give you all this. Now, instantly, just ask me. But this question can be deferred. So difficult to give. Now, what would be the normal reaction? I go to a teacher, a guru, and I say, sir, I want to find immortality. Nobody asks like that, but I want to be free of death. I want to transcend death. Guru says, "Arey, transcend death. Forget about all that right now. Instantly I can give you a BMW." What is the normal reaction? What immortality is? So you see, the disciple who asks and the teacher who gives are of different kinds. But what does Nachiketa say? Keep your song and dance to yourself. Upanishad describes this. Right? Keep your dancing girls to yourself. Keep your music and your band party with yourself. 3 worlds, I don't want. Just answer this question. Teach me how to move from the... None of your Rolls Royce silver ghosts tempt me. Let me go. That is the... When a student becomes that serious, then the teaching comes. You don't have to wander around to come to Madikeri then. You don't have to worry about your dentist, you have to worry about nothing. So, that is the meaning of Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Lead me from Mrityu to the deathless state. Even if they take away a small portion of the house in front, it doesn't matter. Immortality is more important. When we are stabilized in that, nothing can move us. The earth may shake and the heavens may fall, but we are the untouched witness of everything. And no death can strike you, because then you are not that which was created. You are that which is uncreated and infinite. even if you can sit for a while and think about this matter, you will find a certain peace of mind. Even if you think, even before the Anubhava, simply sit down and think, it's nonsense and rubbish, I am at peace. So we are free now to wander around or think about what we discuss now. When we come for meditation, we must come with a peaceful state of mind. Nothing bothers us. Nothing. Switch off your phones. അതല്ലേ പറഞ്ഞത്. That any case people will do whatever they want. Anyway, I am trying to share what I know. Whatever I know, I am trying to share with you. And I am laughing not because it's funny, because there's nothing to cry about. Unnecessary. Right? And the joy is in your own heart. There is no need to search anywhere. It's there. And when it is there, you also do joyful things. And my experience is you also don't get tired. Your mind doesn't get tired. Body, of course, after some time it does get tired. But that also minimum. In 1 hour you can recover. But the mind never gets tired because it is always rested. And whatever is working is only one layer, outside layer. Deep down there is no action. It's sometimes you feel like fully enjoying it, then you close your eyes. It's not as if you are not enjoying it when your eyes are open. Then also it's going on. But sometimes you want to fully be involved, then you close your eyes. Also because if you don't close your eyes, nobody will close their eyes. If I stop meditating, you can imagine, everybody would have attained moksha. Nobody will meditate. They'll say, no need. Why? Inside and outside are same. So, in my activities, even if I don't need to meditate, I have to meditate. Otherwise, nobody will meditate. They will start imitating me. So, you have to sit. It's good only because you can also enjoy fully. But what I'm saying is, even like this also, you can meditate. In Zen, they have open-eyed meditation. In Ramana Maharshi, has anybody seen a picture of Ramana Maharshi with eyes closed? So it's like, but people will imitate, which is why I'm very afraid. So I must be very careful. I must tell you, last, we have 10 minutes, a story from the Sufi sources. There was a great Sufi master who had about 20-25 disciples in tow. Maximum. More than that means you're finished. So anyway. So he was walking and they were walking behind him. And then they came in front of a bar. You know what is a bar? No? Everybody knows. Came in front of a bar. Then the owner of the bar was standing outside with great respect. So when he saw the master, in his mind he was thinking, wonderful man, no chance, he is not going to come to my place. Because what do I have here? Only liquor. So the master turned to him. Then he said, greetings, master. He said, why are you not inviting me? So he said, he has read my thoughts. He said, please come. So he went inside. His disciples also followed. They all sat down. Then the owner of the bar said, Master, What can I give you? I have nothing to offer except liquor here. The master said, offer what you have. So he brought a mug and poured liquor into it and gave it. The master took it and said, wonderful. The disciples were sitting at the back. They said, Master, you're drinking, so we should. So he called. So by the time the master had one mug, they had about 5, 6. Going round and round. Then the master got up and said thank you. The other guy was so thrilled, he thanked. And then the master walked out, as straight as he had come in. Behind him followed the disciples like snakes. How fully drunk you can walk, no? You have to go like a snake. In Malayalam they say, Adichu Pambai. Like snake. All came out. And then they continued to walk. After some time, they came in front of a foundry. You know what is a foundry? Where metal is melted. Here he was melting lead to make those shots which they put in guns. They melt it, draw wires, cut it and roll it. So, the owner of the foundry came out. Master, will you please come to me? He said, I will come, but can you give me something? Yeah, whatever I have. He got him inside, sat down. Disciples also followed. They didn't know what's going to happen now, but they followed. What have you got to give me? Offer me? This fellow was confounded. There was nothing. He said, I have some melted tin, lead. Master said, bring it. So he put melted tin in a crucible and brought it. The master drank. Then he turned to his disciple. All of you help yourself. How to drink? How to drink? So, I have to be careful. Don't imitate. You may find me sitting around with many ladies and all. Don't imitate. That is not my fault that they gather. That's what. So that's what it is. And last, before we stop, don't think that to become spiritual, when you are spiritual, you always should have a long, sad face. Swami Vivekananda once said, if you see a person with a sad, long face, don't think that he's a spiritual man. Maybe he suffers from dyspepsia. You know what dyspepsia means? Indigestion. So when you have hit the source of all joy, why would you be... Yeah, there is some sadness that others are not tasting it and participating. It is still in sorrow. That is there. But that's only in private times when you are alone that thing strikes you. Oh my God. But otherwise, it's joyful. The journey is joyful. The experience is joyful. Nobody wants to go into sadness. And there is nothing to lose. What will you lose when you have nothing at all? Tell me. When you have something you can lose, there is nothing. Anyway, it is right off. So enjoy yourself. Not in the bar, not you. He'll never go to the bar. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Thank you. Okay.